Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a Q&A video. I've only done one of these before and you guys seem to like it, so I thought I'd do another one. I reached out to you guys on Instagram and said like, hey, ask me questions. So I guess here we go. I have no idea how long this video is going to be or anything, but we're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna be reading the questions off of my phone. You guys asked me a ton of good questions, some diabetes related, some not. I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can within that appropriate time limits, that this isn't a crazy long video, but you know, here we go. These are not in any particular order. I'm just gonna kind of go through them. Again, some are diabetes related, some are not. First question, do you miss your pump? Would you go back to using a pump in the future? Honestly, there are times that I do miss my pump where I'm kind of like, oh, I do not want to like inject again, or maybe I've had a couple of like really painful injections and I'm just like, ugh, this is so annoying. But on the other side of things, there are times where I'm so glad I don't have a device hanging off of me, or I had trouble with the site staying in for 3 days. It just like my skin always got irritated. So while I have a painful injection, I'll also be thinking like, well, at least I just have to like do it really quick and then it'll be over and I don't have to like inject and then keep the needle in for 3 days, essentially, if that makes sense. So some days I do miss my pump and I do think I'll eventually go back. I don't want to say like I'm never going back, but I really like MDI, so I think I'll still stay on that for a while, which it's coming up on a year of being on MDI, which is crazy. That was supposed to be like a couple week break and now we're coming up on a year, which is wild. All right, next question. Favorite album? My favorite album, Ryan Neal, if you're watching this, you would appreciate this, is Currents by Tame Impala. Tame Impala is my favorite band. Currents is just like, you can listen to it start to finish and it's so good and you don't skip any songs. And I was supposed to see Tame Impala in concert, but COVID happened. So sad. My email's going off. But we'll ignore that. Okay, next question. How do you prepare for physical activities? Assuming you mean like exercising? Yeah, that's a physical activity. My key tips would be make sure you don't have too much insulin on board, if any, and make sure your blood sugar is not low. Next question. I'm gonna try not to say next question because that's gonna get really annoying. Here we go. The next question is, how is Trulicity going? So it's going really good. I am still liking the higher dose, although I kind of find that like towards the end of the week it starts to wear off, so I might look into switching to something else. I haven't decided if it's like completely worth it. I also find that I get some like heartburn from it, which I've heard other people get, but I've also never really experienced heartburn before, so like could it be something else? Yes. But other than that, it's going really good. I've lost some weight, which like, yay, and I have used a lot less insulin than I normally do, so yay again. Okay, this is a good question. If you could, would you get rid of type 1 diabetes? No. It's taught me not to judge people because you never know what they're going through, because maybe you can't see everything they're going through. Like you can't see that I have diabetes. So yeah, no, I would not. I would keep it. Plus, I don't know life without it, so I would be like, I don't know what to do. So no, I would keep diabetes. What would you say to a newly diagnosed diabetic? I would say, welcome to the club that no one wants to be a part of, but like we're really glad you're here. It's like a secret club that, I don't know, I think diabetes is so funny. It is so scary at first, although I was so little when I was diagnosed, but like there are so many good things that can come out of it, like the DOC, meeting people with diabetes and just having that like instant connection. So I would say hang in there. You will get used to what you're doing. For the most part, it'll never seem completely normal, but like, just hang in there. That's what I would say. Okay, how is your blood sugar? Let me check. I am 108 with 2 units on board, so I crushed my lunch bolus. Feeling good. It's 68 degrees out, as you can see in my screenshot that I just took. It's a good freaking day. Okay, I like this next one. Not a question, but I love how your apartment looks and that it was an old school. Thank you. Can we get a tour of the apartment? Perhaps one day I will do a tour. I never really thought about that. To be completely honest, if I do a tour of the apartment, I need to clean it up first, so that, yeah, maybe I'll do that in the future. New diabetic accessory that you have your eye on. I don't know if this counts, but iPhone 12 just came out or just was announced yesterday. I don't know if you count that as a diabetic accessory, but like if you use your Dexcom, then it is. So I would say that. Other than that, in like actual diabetes related stuff, no, I don't really have anything on my eye. Oh my God. I don't have anything. I don't have my eye on anything. Okay, now that I can like speak correctly. That's pretty funny. Would you / do you play Among Us? Okay, I just heard of this for the first time the other day. I don't know what it is. Perhaps if I look into it, then perhaps I may play, but I cannot make any promises. What advice do you have for newly diagnosed preteen girls dealing with type 1? I would say, kind of like I said before, hang in there. It is a roller coaster and you're probably dealing with so many things with like being a teenager and just like all the crap that comes with that, and then diabetes on top of it. I would say hang in there, like keep your head on straight, take each day as it comes, and then focus on the next day. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what I would say. All right, so this person asked, have I ever tried or thought of using a Frezza? So I actually have a Frezza in my refrigerator, but I haven't used it because I'm kind of scared. I know of one person that had some like, I don't know, weird like thing happen to them with a Frezza, so I'm a little scared to use it, although I do think about it, that it's in there sometimes. So I think one day I might just have to kind of like bite the bullet and try it if I'm like really high. Maybe I'll make a video out of it. Actually, that'd be a really good idea. So okay, I'm gonna answer a bunch of questions now. A lot of people ask, what do I do for work? As much as I blast my life out on YouTube and Instagram, I do like to keep some of it private, so I don't want to say like the company I work for or like what we do. Although I really appreciate that you guys are asking about it. I just think that I like to keep, you know, Instagram and YouTube are my passion projects, and like my work is my work, although it is a little bit of a passion project, but I like to keep them separate. So I'm not gonna say like exactly what I do or go into any details on my job, but I will say I'm a project manager for a small company, and we work with dementia patients. All right, the next question, favorite and worst part of being a T1D. So I have a couple of favorites, and I have really just like one bad part. But I'll do the bad part first, and then I'll go into my favorites because we'll like end this question on a happy note. The worst part of being a type 1 diabetic is like the sleep. I feel like some weeks it's like you do whatever you can and you don't get enough sleep. You can't sleep, your blood sugar's high, you wake up from lows, what have you. So I would say that's the worst part, is like trying to manage a decent sleep schedule, because some nights it just doesn't work, because diabetes is like, screw you, person, I'm not gonna let you sleep tonight. But best part of being a type 1 diabetic is the community is definitely one of them. I love the online community, the DOC. Y'all are some of my favorite people. Two, this is so like stupid, but I always have food on me, which I love. Sometimes I just want like a little snack, and I always have like a couple of Starbursts in my bag, or like some Gatorade cheese. I always have something, so I always have food on me. That's definitely another favorite part. And my third favorite part, although I don't know if I should really say this, is sometimes it like gets me out of sticky situations. So like if I'm in a meeting and I need a break, I can just be like, my blood sugar is low, and like I can leave the room and take care of it, when sometimes really I'm not actually low, but I'm just in like need a breather. So I would say using diabetes as an excuse is one of my favorite parts, which I think you should when you have such a crummy disease. Like, use it to your advantage. How long does it take to accept and fully embrace your diabetes? Hard question to answer because it's different for everyone. For me, it took like 17 years. Although for a good chunk of those years, I just acted like I didn't have diabetes, which I would not recommend. I would say, I just kind of one day I was like, you know what, screw this, it's not going away, so I'm just gonna deal with it. So I would say it's different for everyone, but for me, I really started embracing my diabetes after having it for 17 years, yikes. And now I'm coming up on my 20th anniversary. Woo. Okay, here's a non-diabetes question to throw one in the loop. What good shows have you seen on Netflix or Amazon Prime? Okay, I don't really watch Amazon Prime, but on Netflix, Schitt's Creek is so funny. I need to really dive into season 6. I watched the first episode, but I haven't watched any more. But Schitt's Creek is hilarious. I think The Office is still on there. Maybe it got taken off. That's hilarious. Parks and Rec. This show's on Hulu, not on Netflix, but Pen 15 is really, really funny. So that's another one I would recommend, even though it doesn't really fit Netflix or Prime. Any tips for balancing diabetes with a busy social and work life? Yeah, sometimes I feel like my life doesn't stop. So tips and tricks for balancing your diabetes. Make sure you're prepared. So if you notice that like your reservoir is running low, or like sometimes I notice my insulin cartridge is like almost out, but like not yet, and I'm not really sure when it will run out. I'll throw an extra cartridge in my bag, or I used to carry like backup pump supplies. I would say always be prepared as much as you can. Have low snacks on you, maybe throw a couple syringes in your bag just in case. I carry like a purse backpack. I hate calling it a purse, but it's a cute fashion backpack that can hold like tons of stuff. So I have a couple syringes, extra pen needles, tons of low snacks. My meter's always in there because if not, I would literally lose it. And yeah, I throw an extra like cartridge or maybe an extra pen of Trulicity in there just in case. That's how I would be prepared. That's how I've prepared in the past, and it's come in handy. Best advice for a 6-year-old diabetic. Best advice for a 6-year-old diabetic. You're not alone. There are other people like you. There are grown-ups like you, like me. There are also little kids. There are some kids younger than you that are like you. There are some kids that are your age. You're not alone. That would be my main thing, is like, you might feel alone, but you're not. Okay, next question. Someone asked, have I ever worn an Omnipod? If so, how did I feel about it? Yeah, I wore a pod for a year and some change. I think I got the pod in September of like 2018, and then November 2019 I went off the pod. I liked the fact that it had no tubes, didn't like the insertion. I think I kind of have a whole video of why I changed from pods. If I do, I'll link it up here. If not, there's the reason. Okay, how do I deal with burnouts? This is one of my favorite questions. My favorite tool in my tool bag, is how I phrase it, is Instagram. If I feel like, oh, like I don't want to do this anymore, like this is so annoying, I'll look on Instagram and see like, okay, other people are doing what I do, other people are doing more than I do, other people have diabetes, I'm not alone. I find that burnout often comes from feeling like alone and stressed, but like if you can realize that other people share your stress, or it obviously might not be exactly the same, but if you can just realize that other people are going through your struggle with you, that motivates me to like keep moving forward and not get into burnout. Do I have any siblings? Nope, I'm the only one my parents could handle. No, I don't have any siblings. Has diabetes ever held you back from doing something you really wanted? No, it hasn't. I would say I've had people say like, oh, you can't do that because you have diabetes, but that motivates me more to say like, well, yeah, I can. Like, screw you. So no, nothing has held me back. Someone said, can I see your feet? I don't know if I'll actually put that in. Do you work out every day? I wish I could say yes, but I have to say no because I don't work out every day. I feel really great when I work out, but some days I wake up and I'm like, it's not gonna happen today. Or I don't have time, I have an early meeting, and some days you need a break. So no, I don't work out every day, but if I do either like a stationary bike or an outdoor bike ride, or I do weights. I'm trying to get strong. You can't even see my arm. Last couple of questions, there's 2 more. Have you ever experienced burnout, and if so, what was it and how did you cope? So that's like 3 questions in one. Yes, I definitely have had burnout. If so, what was it? I just acted like I didn't have diabetes. I had a pump and I kept my pump on, but I never gave insulin. I just let it give me my basal all day. I remember my endos would be like, your basal is 90%, your bolus is like 10%. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But then I wouldn't do anything with that information. I'd be like, well, I can be stubborn, so I would be like, I'm not changing what I do. And how did I cope? Instagram. Again, my favorite tool in the tool belt. I joined Instagram, started following other diabetics, I made my account, my Diabetic Cactus account, which thrived completely unexpectedly. And yeah, that's how I dealt with it. That's how I deal with burnout today. Yeah. Okay. Where's the first place you want to travel again? So many places. I'm just looking at a map right now that I have over there. Let's see. There were so many trips that were supposed to happen that didn't. I was supposed to go to Ireland with my mom. I was supposed to go to France and Switzerland for work. I don't know. I have no idea what the answer to that question is. I think I would go to Arizona, especially because it's getting cold here and I have family friends out there and I just love it, and it's so different from PA, Pennsylvania. So yeah, I would say Arizona is the first place I would go. So that's it for this video. I have no idea how long this will be. It's either gonna be like kind of short, kind of long, or it's gonna be long. I feel like it's probably gonna be long. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions, definitely leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. And I will see you guys in my next video.